Welcome back to the table, Ring of Contrarians. Last time, having arranged their method of travel, the party set off through the hills towards the Terracotta Desert. After setting out from Atwick on their second day, they encountered the sounds of a struggle in the hills and found a small group being attacked by a group of giantkin. One of them happened to be a dragonborn of an unfortunate scale color, and brass decisions were made. Byrdi managed to save the human member of that party with the help of Vola's healing, but now Leofin and Dio have questions. Very serious questions.
Alright, so, last we left off, the party was surrounding the very unfortunate being that was accompanying the other two Dragonborn and who barely survived the fireball that had struck him. He had...
remember correctly, Bola, and I had loaded him into the back of the cart.
Yes, you had loaded him to the back of the cart and he had received healing to the point where he is stable. There are still very bad... They're not horrible burns anymore. He's not crispy and charcoal falling off of him. But he is like just coming out of the burn ward and he's still messed up pretty bad.
No regrets. No regrets.
Alright. What's the party?
Alright, so Vola and Byrdi are in the cart. I assume Kaine is also walking back from the hill at this point?
Yeah.
Actually, before we leave, shouldn't we bury those two? I can make it quick. I have that mold earth.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but we do need to move out from here as quickly as we can because those giants will come back.
Right.
As soon as they realize that I'm only 5.5 feet tall and they're significantly bigger than me.
Right.
We will note that only one of the giants survived. Cyclops was murdered by the animals.
Right. I forgot.
And the hill giant just fucking ran.
Dio's pet-friendly friends.
Frog and hyena
Yeah.
hunted them
So-
down.
The chances of the hill giant coming back after seeing that shit
Pretty minimal.
Don't know that. We
Could-
don't know that. It's better to move.
is up in the air.
Yeah, it's better to move.
I just
Do
say
it quickly,
leave
Leofin.
Alright. I will run back up over the hill to where the bodies are, and
Okay.
I'll dig 2 6-foot graves with using mold earth
Okay.
right next to each other, and then lay both the bodies in, and then use mold earth to cover it back up.
Alright.
Dio's gonna play Amazing Grace on the bagpipes.
Like right beside him or
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so this whole process takes about 15 minutes for you to get over there and come back, and having put the bodies into the ground and given a very slight service, you are back now at the cart with the rest of the party.
I'm just gonna be riding Clive, so or at least Dio is.
I've got my Aurochs set up. I believe Porkchop is pulling today. Steak is following behind. So
Yes.
as soon as they're back down the hill, I'm back up in the cart, or in the driver's seat, because Kaine was driving previously. If I remember.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Typho's just
I'm
in the park.
taking my turn to drive.
Alright.
Well, maybe we should take this chance to learn a bit about this individual that we saved.
I think it may be a bit chance to let him rest,
Well, yeah, maybe that.
because currently he's unconscious.
Is he still unconscious?
Oh yeah,
Oh, sorry. I thought he was...
burn victim.
Yeah, he looks like he is still in a kind of a deep sleep.
He could
Okay.
use some milk.
Yeah.
Right.
Buttermilk bath.
Well, barring that, Syphos,
Yes.
would you care to explain to the rest of the party why 2 people were murdered today by you?
Oh, one of them was brass, the other one was associating with the brass.
Why the hell's wrong with you? Are those not your kin?
Brass are nothing of my kin. They're
Oh,
the
you're
ones
both
that
the Dragonborn.
They're the ones that killed my family. So
All the brass killed your family.
no, flamethrowers.
Wait,
And I don't know if they're flamethrower.
But how are these not your kin? They're all dragonborn, aren't they?
If another halfling killed your family, would you be okay with that?
I would be okay with that halfling, but they're still kin.
I'm not okay with this dragon. Well, with that dragonborn.
Aye, well, that's different, isn't it?
If they're part of the same clan, no.
That's not how halfling society works.
Well, that's how dragonborn society works.
Oh, well.
It's an eye for an eye.
It's a bit unfair.
I guess...
That's only going to leave the world blind.
Only the strong will be seen.
Well, it would have helped, I guess, maybe knowing that ahead of time.
I do not judge you for anything you do. Please do not judge me for anything I do. Understand, I have my reasons. You may not always like them. They may not always seem nice and friendly. But they happen for a reason.
Wait.
Well, look, can we at least agree to, in the future, maybe if it's a non-combat situation, to not just start killing people, like maybe in town or in a tavern, maybe, at least?
Well, this didn't seem like self-defense. That brash dragonborn wasn't messing with you at all.
No. I wasn't going to take a chance that there was a flamethrower.
Was it a flamethrower?
A flamethrower, I'm not sure. They said something about a... What did they say the name was?
The Red Dragonborn said that she was a Spitfire.
Spitfire. But as far as I'm concerned, that might as well just be flamethrowers.
Aye, right. Indiscriminate killing. Fair enough.
But can we agree to maybe not do this in a city or something at least?
I mean,
I'm already trying to
I cannot promise...
not think about what happened. But
I cannot promise outside of public view. But when we are in cities and around trouble, I shall try and tamp down. If that's okay. I make no guarantees, but I can try.
Well, it's better than nothing. Right, well, about how much... Changing the subject,
Byrdi has been oddly quiet in the front seat while she drives.
Oh, Byrdi, you have been oddly quiet in the front seat while you drive. Do you know about how much longer it'd be until we reach the next settlement?
You will not reach the next settlement within this day. It'll probably be, if you keep a good pace and nothing gets in your way, probably sometime in the evening of tomorrow.
We've got at least another 24 or 36 hours of travel.
Right. Well...
I'll make sure to set up camp then.
Oh, yeah, what time of day are we looking at right now?
As y'all have been traveling and talking this out, the day has gotten... It's probably around 5 o'clock. The sun is getting kind of low over the mountains, and you don't have a whole lot more daylight left. And you are starting to see the great hills that you've been traveling through have been getting smaller and smaller as you go by.
Right.
Well, I can fit everyone into my tiny hut, but the animals are going to have to stay outside, except Clive.
That's fair.
Clive stays inside.
How many fit in your hut?
9.
That's a pretty spacious hut.
Aye, it is. It's nice. It's cozy.
Oh,
Aye, it'll keep us warm too, so no worries about fires.
Oh, that's...
I know it'll keep us warm. I've used it extensively.
That's convenient, especially since we're not going to be at a town, it didn't seem like. And before I forget, Syphos.
Yes.
Could I see my father's note, essentially, that amulet?
I grabbed the notes. Hand off.
Oh yeah, I forgot they were.
Yeah,
They turned into amulet form,
they're in crystal form.
Yeah.
which is actually kind of cool.
I was thinking about maybe looking into these some tonight once we've made camp.
Right.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
If y'all want to, we can set up a quick fire, and I can make everyone food, or we can go without it and just eat something dry and something that doesn't require to be cooked. I'll leave it up to you. I don't think we'll face too much danger.
Our guest is not going to be able to eat dry food.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Perhaps a soup, then.
I hope they're awake by the time we make camp.
Me too.
Hey, I'll sup them around.
I
I mean, it's not going to do any damage.
I mean,
I'm not raw.
just he is a very he's still a recovering burn victim.
Yeah, but technically speaking, my unarmed
Even-
attack does 0 damage.
Even your
If it
Wimpy
did any
slaps
less, if
might-
it did any less damage,
I'd be
you would
healing him.
yeah, you'd be massaging his wounds.
If I was a kobold, I'd just be slapping him around and be like, "Oh, thanks." I'm gonna punch him in the shoulder. Oh, he put it back into place.
Thanks.
While we're still,
Temporary 1 hit point. Okay.
I guess while we're still traveling, seeing as he's still really beat up, I'll try healing spirit on him again and see if maybe there's further improvement.
Right. Syphos, could you get some wood out of the bag of holding?
So look over at Byrdi.
Oh, do you have the bag of holding?
Can I have that back?
I don't think she's gonna give you the bag.
I'm driving right now, guys. My hands are a little occupied.
Do you have it on this? Do you have it like still sat
Oh,
over
it's
you?
like, it is tied to me. I didn't want it taken.
Right, you act like this is your first time driving.
Dio,
Aye.
sitting where you are on Clive next to me, what view do you think I've been staring at all day?
Pretty nice one. It's actually pretty outside. Unless you're looking at what are these things called?
They're called aurochs.
Ah, you've been looking at Pork Chop's ass.
Aurochs are significantly larger, stronger, and more cantankerous than Clive. So
I
I'm
didn't say
going to
cantank-
keep both hands on these reins until we pull up for the night.
I wouldn't say more
When
cantankerous.
we do, I'll get you out some firewood.
Some more flatulent.
Oh no.
Aye. Hold on, Clive. You just keep walking by us, and Dio jumps up to where Byrdi's at.
Okay. Hey, give me an acrobatics check.
Ooh,
That's nice.
nice acrobatics. I think I did a backflip off of Clive.
I was about to say, that'd be great. It's like
19 plus 6, so 25.
Yeah.
2. It's like and falls.
Yeah, just
If only.
jumps right up on to the seat next to Byrdi, doing a nice little flip on it.
Yeah. Byrdi has been sitting on the far side of the seat, and she slightly leans out to the side because she can't see over the auroch. You have to see around it. So if you're standing in the middle, you are looking straight on at the auroch's tail.
I'll be standing up doing this. Hi, here I'll drive for a bit. You get the wood out.
What are you going to do with the wood while we're driving?
I'm gonna wait for you to get the wood out, and then I'm gonna give you back the reins.
What are you going to do with the wood while we're moving, Dio?
No, gather it up. Get it ready for a bonfire.
Why don't we just wait until we get
Why
there?
don't we wait until we pull over for the night before you start pulling out stuff for a bonfire? This is a wooden cart, Dio.
Fair enough.
It takes just as long to get it out.
You're not wrong. I thought we were stopping a lot quicker than we I would say just fuck it and stay right here. There's really no reason to stop to keep going now. Sun's almost down.
You can look for a good place, or
Yep, that's what I've been kind of
Yeah.
keeping an eye out for. You want me to
Alright,
roll with
so-
survival?
yes.
Okay.
I will help her look for a place.
All right, so take advantage.
So we have stopped now, or are we doing
We
this
are
while we're
getting
chatting?
ready to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
And-
Dio just wanted an excuse to do a backflip on the car.
Yeah, of course.
Likely. Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
nice.
21.
21.
21.
You find a nice spot that's pretty open. The area that you're stopping in now is pretty flat grassland. The hills are left behind you, and as far as you can see right now, it's just an open field. you're able to find a spot that is pretty flat. Doesn't look like it has any large rocks in it that are going to really bug you in your sleep. And nice and if you push it down, the grass will be nice and cushy.
Cool.
So
Alright, I'll
Alright,
pull this over at this spot.
This looks nice. I will note that the tiny hut is a sphere, as you'll kind of see. It looks like a half circle. We might want to dig a hole, perhaps big enough, to kind of make it look like it's flat. Kind of disguise us, if you will. Make us less
Yeah,
inconspicuous.
that poopy brown color would stand out pretty
well,
deeply
it's not.
in this.
It's not. I can change the color. I
Oh,
only
thank
made.
goodness. Okay.
I made it that color to bug y'all.
But we're also
'Cause I'm
going
petty
to
sometimes.
have a cart and 2 Oroks standing right next to it.
It
as
was
well.
going to be
Aye,
fairly visible regardless.
fair enough. All right.
A good idea when we don't have them, though.
Aye.
Yeah.
How's our guest?
I threw more healing magic at him. Did that affect anything?
his breathing seemed to get even better. It doesn't sound like he has any fluid in his lungs anymore. And the skin around his body has healed up, and it looks... It's not like fresh new skin, but it almost looks like it's tight on him. As you were healing him, he hasn't been moving at all, and his skin's just kind of healed up and just kind of tightened.
Oh, that's gonna hurt to stretch.
Yeah, he's gonna wake up, and if he moves, it's gonna be a little bit painful, but he's definitely out of danger.
Well, at least it seems a bit better, if anyone else is wondering. But he's still out of it, so not much else really.
All right. Well, I'll make us some soup, and hopefully that'll brighten up his spirits a bit. We're gonna have to be a bit quick on this. I don't want this fire to stay up for far too long. So now can I have the sticks?
Yes, Dio, now you can have the sticks. And Byrdi reaches in and pulls out basically a handful, 2 hands full of the broken wood that we have and arranges it for him in a cook fire.
Great fire.
Okay.
Another piece of
You create bonfire, burn away all the grass that was just sitting in this 5-foot area, and the grass catches on fire, and the logs that you had put down, or the sticks that you had put down, have also caught on fire.
Bit toasty.
The fire starts to spread.
I immediately start stamping it out.
Stamp it out.
I use mold earth to start picking up earth from outside of the fire and smothering the outer
moving
ring
it
of the
on top?
building.
Are
like a
you
little-
making a fire ring?
Yes, I'm basically
Okay.
making a fire ring.
Thank you.
I should have thought of that before you did that.
I didn't think I didn't realize it was this dry.
I didn't think about it soon enough either.
I mean, it is winter. I feel like there would be.
Sorry,
a
I'm used to Fargo's grasses are so much greener and
so also
much more
caves.
wet.
We're really used to caves.
Aye, fair enough.
But
I've had enough of caves for a while.
Aye, I
You
don't want to
and
be
me
in another
both.
cave.
Can we never go into a cave ever again?
Aye, last time you diseased your orb.
Hey, that wasn't in the caves.
That was in the caves.
That was the
Shush.
cave.
Shush.
I'm so glad I have mold earth.
Aye, thanks for that.
I'm just gonna keep it forever.
I mean,
You saved the forest. Congratulations.
sadly, I don't think bold earth works on sand. So,
It just keeps on.
I don't think it does, right?
Well,
Maybe a
it's...
DM call, but
It says loose earth. I would say that would work on sand, but it's kind of ineffectual.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it just
we'll have to come. Yeah, we'll have to come to that when we do. But
that's how you make sandstone.
It takes a while
we're
to
into
actually
the same
scoop
problem
it
that
out.
Toph had.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just keeps
She's
it
not
keeps
a
falling
sandbender,
back
she's
in.
an earthbender.
Yeah. So yeah, you're able to get the fire taken care of. Start beginning to make a meal. What are you making out of?
What do we have as rations? Actually, to be fair, Vola has create food and water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just have her create food and
I
water.
was going to say, we have a few things in the bag of holding.
Aye, but don't you want a delicious meal? Let me look at Vola's create earth.
You mean like ingredients in the bag, or?
I have ingredients,
I mean,
thank you.
some of it might be a little rotting because it's been sitting in there for 20
Oh, you're talking about the
years.
monster parts again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aye, we're not
can
going to
we
eat those.
I want to get rid of them.
Well, then dump them out.
I don't want to just throw them
Actually-
away.
So what are we going to use them for?
Eat them!
No one's going to eat these. Not even animals are going to eat these.
We did forget to sell those.
Byrdi. Yeah. We didn't really have a chance. There was a tower that kind of exploded.
Yeah.
Trust me, I wanted to do a
That-
lot more
yeah.
while we were there.
It accelerated things a bit.
I wanted to go to a freaking library so I can get some spells. But no, we can't have that.
Byrdi pulls out one of the beholder eye stalks. It's just like, it's gross.
Oh, yeah.
It's she just kind of waggles it towards Leofin,
Yeah.
and then she tosses it on the fire.
Yeah.
She turns, seeing Syphos' kind of like aw face. She turns her hand and it's just like there's goop just running
Yeah.
down the side of her hand.
You've had these parts for like weeks.
Yeah.
20
Things,
years.
things like Umber Hulk incisors that are like teeth and bone.
Yeah.
That's
We've only
one
had those
thing,
for a
but-
few days.
Yeah, but the fleshy
Actually, for about a
stuff.
week.
Yeah, no, that's right nasty.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
we've had the...
Literally nothing will eat this, except maybe insects.
As you throw it on the fire, it does change the flames into a. You can see purple flames coming off of the eye stalk and licks of green sparks coming off of it.
That's
I
a
don't-
cool trick.
I don't care what anyone says. It's super gross, but that was cool.
Agreed.
Aye, but I'm not going to cook with purple flames, so...
Why not?
Die off in a minute.
Aye, fair
Byrdi
enough.
just kind of like wipes her hand on the grass in the dirt, and just like rubs her hand in the dirt to get all the slime and goop off, and then like
So,
dusts the dirt off with her pants.
I have Vola create, like, water and, well, broth.
It's bland food.
It's bland food.
Yeah.
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 Broth is pretty blandy. To be fair, anything's bland without spices, so technically speaking, I could have raw pork and noodles. And
Okay.
egg.
Bit of a stretch.
There's actually an item that I really would like y'all to have called the Bag of Bounty that you can either create food and water at will 3 times a day, or you can do a charisma check and pull out like fine meals out of it.
Oh,
That's
okay.
cool. There's also a bag of colding, which is like a refrigerated bag, so we could actually
Keep
keep.
Hey, we got
those.
the money. Next time we're in a major town,
Yeah,
we need to look
no,
into
we're
buying some of
good.
this.
We're solid.
Oh, we're buying a bunch of stuff.
Aye. Alright. So I guess she just... Can I get, like, raw meat that's not the best quality?
Yeah,
And maybe a carrot and a potato?
you can get some vegetables.
I just make a stew then.
Yeah,
So, performance check? Or...
yeah.
Okay.
Give me it'd be a performance check. These are
Ooh.
regular ingredients.
19 plus 8, so 27.
Yeah, no, that's you make a very hearty stew. With the seasonings you do have on hand, you're able to make it very flavorful and quite filling.
Aye, here we are. Soup's on, literally.
On the what?
Alright, you get no soup. You're going hungry tonight.
It looks very good.
Okay. I deserve that one.
Aye, you deserve that one. Now here's a bowl and drink up.
And just as an aside, I am impressed that it's not breakfast.
Me too. What
Maybe
is wrong
impressed
with
is a
you?
bad word. Surprised.
So,
What is wrong with you?
Halflings are very good at breakfast. We really like toast and eggs. I thought a hearty stew might be better tonight.
I'm looking forward
Certainly
to
takes the chill off.
Aye,
Hooray.
but you have to admit, everyone likes a good Brenner.
it. Agreed.
Aye, ever have eggs at night? Oh, the best.
Leftover cornbread
Yeah, exactly.
with butter.
Aye, who doesn't like Brenner? Anyway, everyone, soup's on. Wake him up.
None of us
Yeah.
are from Texas. I don't know what you're talking about.
You gotta get some grits too.
I don't know where you're getting that notion from.
Cornbread and beans.
Oh man.
Cornbread beans, get some.
God, I'm hungry
with the
again.
big chunks of like ham or bacon and the
Oh.
beans.
Guys, shut up, y'all. Are gonna be
That's the only way to cook beans,
That's
right?
the best.
Is with bacon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
bacon everything.
That
What-
that big bag of baconins and pieces, and just
God, yeah.
stuff it in that giant menudo pot full of pinto beans.
I might be making beans tomorrow.
Damn it! I'm not gonna be here to eat them, and I'm gonna be
Yeah.
upset.
So, what have y'all done with your tag-along friend here?
We've arranged him comfortably in the space that Dio has designated where he's going to put the tiny hut.
Is he still using the opulent pillow that you have?
Yes.
Okay. If he wasn't, I was going to suggest using it, but he's already using it. So.
No, he's still using it.
With a cover on it.
Yeah, and I specifically put a cover on it.
I don't want to get your burnt skin all over it.
Yeah, no, it's my pillow. I will be taking it back.
Your pillow.
That is my pillow.
She's had it for this long.
I
it's her.
rightfully stole that pillow from thieves.
I
It
did.
is my pillow.
If you steal something from a thief, did you steal it or
She stole
reclaim
it
it?
from the. What the fuck was the guy's name? The boss?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck
Stole
they call
from the
him?
rich and gave to yourself.
I
The big
stole
cheese.
from Robin Hood. What are you talking about?
His last name was Free Estate. And that's what
Yeah.
I can remember.
He went by
too.
the big cheese.
Trust me, that's all I
Yeah.
fucking remember.
Oh my
Roja Free Estate.
Yeah, Roja
Rohan
Free
Free
Estate.
Estate.
The big cheese.
Big
All I
cheese.
remember is slapping a kid.
God,
Just like, no, don't
I-
let that be.
We
my
should've
my
looked for
cheeks
him.
were
That
hurting
name.
at the end of that session.
Nope.
We should have
So-
voted for him in the dwarven capital.
Nope.
No.
Why? He's probably dead.
He is dead.
Is he?
Who?
The kid's
Tristan?
alive. Tristan, or
Roja?
No, not Rohan. I was talking
The little
about
kid
the little
who-
kid.
Oh yeah, no,
he's alive.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But Roja's not.
No, I didn't think he was. It doesn't
Ro-
matter.
Roja's still alive.
Yeah, I was about to say, Roja's very much alive.
Yeah.
Don't tell Dio.
Dio doesn't.
He's
Dio
great.
doesn't care.
He's doing great. Okay, back to this. As y'all do move him into this spot and lay him down, he does stir awake, and you can hear.
Bola, your charge is awake.
Where am I?
Top of the evening to you.
You're
Here's
in heaven.
some stew.
You're in heaven.
He like reaches up and you can see him wince as the skin across his arms and fingers and hands
I-
just tighten up, and he's like,
Not so fast. You're still healing, but this will help lift your spirits. It's a good stew.
what happened?
Aye, your group met with a bit of an unfortunate accident.
Involving lots of giant kin.
Aye,
I
and a fireball, I think.
remember the giants, but I remember fighting a two-headed creature, one-eyed,
Oh yeah, it's dead
monstrosity,
now. For sure.
and then just a flash of fire.
All right.
And
Anyway, we couldn't save your other friends.
they're dead.
Aye,
Yes.
we buried them.
You can see just despair on his face. It doesn't look like his tear ducts work at the moment.
Cool.
That's probably for the best because
You can-
salt would hurt.
Yeah, you can see him just like kind of curling up on himself and his body shaking as sobs are starting to rack his body. And he's just sitting there crying dryly.
What were you doing out there with giants anyway?
Me and my two friends were trying to catch one of the damn bastards.
damn bastards? You're gonna have to be more specific.
The two-headed one we found, and I put it to sleep. We're tying it up, and we're gonna go take it to sale. And
Hang on, what? Take it to sale. What?
Hi, are you a slaver?
not professionally.
Hi.
I was noble once.
You have fallen from grace.
Yeah, quite far.
In order
Yeah.
to calm him down, just a tad, Dio's going to cast Calm Emotions.
Okay.
Anyway, it just suppresses strong emotions, so it kind of, I would assume, lift his spirit in this case. He can choose to fail it, or he can make a charisma saving throw.
Alright, so calm emotions.
Yeah, if he wants to fail, he can fail it.
Does everyone need to make that? Or-
If y'all want to, it's technically a 20-foot area, but this would just kind of calm y'all down for the night.
Yeah, no.
Again, if you want to succeed it, I guess you can, but I'm not sure why. I'm not doing
what's-
anything sinister.
What's the
It's
thing?
13.
For charisma, right?
Yeah.
Natural 20.
13 plus 7.
All of you motherfuckers can just choose to fail this.
I don't choose to
In-
do anything.
In
I want
In
to
my-
roll something nice, and I rolled a natural 20. You let me have this natural 20.
Yeah, a
So-
useless fucking natural 20.
I will still have it.
so on my thing for like if you're just casting a spell, I would say a lot of people might not know what the spell is you're casting and just feel something coming over them and naturally try to resist. But if you like told it like, hey, I'm gonna try and do something to help calm your nerves, and like play a song and allow
That's kind
that
of what
to
he's doing as well.
yeah.
So.
Take a full warning.
Okay. Retcon. Dio plays a calming tune while playing calm emotion. While casting calm emotion.
and notifying that
Are you telling
this
everyone?
spell. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
you got to
Why
notify
the fuck
people.
are y'all resisting?
Because
This is the
they
dumbest
might.
shit. I mean, to be fair, if they're listening to music, it's gonna be soothing anyway.
Yeah,
It's your music, though.
it's just
Yeah, someone who's an actual professional performer, by the way.
yeah. It's just the simple fact of not knowing what's coming on the person that makes
Right.
them want to
Like,
resist.
how about a calming tune? Everyone good with that?
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Now I fail.
Okay.
I'll fail.
All right. So
Why are you so buttered over here?
Because it was a stupid roll to make. You rolled your dice because you wanted to roll your
Hey.
die.
Jared,
Salty.
It was dumb.
it
Tell
doesn't
me
matter.
it was wrong.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Fair
it was
enough.
my choice to make.
You're right. Not wrong.
all right. So
You let me keep these emotions.
a calming
I will be angry. and
A
you
cal-
will like it.
a calming
Sorry.
song washes over the party, and everyone's emotions come down a few notches. For those who
She's keeping that 20.
for those who
Choose
let
to do
it
so.
for those that let it go over them. All right, so
Not that Byrdi really appears to be particularly irritated or anything at this point in time anyway.
Finally, Syphos' eyes go back to his normal color.
Aha.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with this.
I mean, to be fair,
It's-
you have advantage on this one.
it's
It
been
is charming.
Doesn't care.
Yeah.
it's been like 7 minutes. What was the question again?
Oh god.
You're asking slave. Oh,
Yes.
it
Yeah.
was a slaver.
So,
Whether or not he was a slaver, and he said not professionally.
Yeah, I was a noble once and fell pretty far from grace.
what happened?
Well, a Baron took over. Disease was rampant. Family died, and I decided I had no place there anymore. So I ran to the desert.
Where were you before this?
the plague. So you were from somewhere around Wellstein, right? Or the human territories?
A little place near Uchek. But yeah, from the human territories.
I don't think we ever got your name, by the way. I'm Leofin. This is Byrdi, Vola, Dio, Kaine, and this is Syphos.
I formerly yield the Black Sabbath.
Right.
I was. Right.
I told you, no one knows what that is.
Everyone should know what it is. It has been 20 years.
My name's Miles. Me and my friends we had heard about some good pay for bringing in some giants over in Red Wharf. There's somebody there buying them for good pay.
Do you know who?
Not right offhand, but if I was going to take a guess, it's probably going to have to be those fire bastards.
Which fire bastards?
The Genasi.
Yeah.
I would recommend finding a new career. Especially since that two-headed one isn't going to make a very good slave
Yeah,
anymore.
well, it's not. It wasn't just for money. Me and Akara found somebody in Red Wharf that we needed to get back. That was a good starting point.
Get back? What's going on in Red Wharf?
There's some slave trade is getting pretty big there.
Hi. You said you're trying to get someone back?
Yeah.
How much?
Well, she was going for a good 200 gold. Not something I could have ever afforded after coming to the desert and after meeting Akara.
Who was this person? Or is?
It was Akara's cousin. One of the last people, probably the only other family she had left after a whole shitstorm that happened with Flamethrowers.
Say that one more time.
Flamethrowers. They practically wiped out Akara's whole clan. She thought she was the last one left, and then we found Byrdi on the market to be sold off. So we got together and we found another one of our friends, and we decided we were gonna try and take out a giant. I could put it to sleep. We could get it back here and sell it for good money, and we could buy Byrdi. We could get Corin a good living for Fax's daughter, and now they don't have anyone. It's all my fault.
If you'll excuse me. Syphos walks away.
Hi, hold up. I'll come with
Then
No.
leave it for now. Dio. It was Beery Spitfire then.
Yeah.
And Fax.
Sharptooth. He is a good man. Good.
He was the
Good.
Red Dragonborn.
Dragonborn, yeah. Good dragon.
You said his daughter is waiting in Red Dwarf?
Yep.
I guess she's your daughter now.
I guess so.
And Byrdi was the.
And Barry is the woman who's still in slave service.
Yeah.
Listen, Miles. You got in a bad way, and it happens. You were lucky in ways that we were passing by, and you were unlucky in ways that we were passing by. Circumstances being what they are. However, we're not a group of people that take a loyalty like that lightly. And if, when we run into Red Dwarf, you would take responsibility for Fax's daughter and for Byrdi, we'll put in to get him safely somewhere else. You and the kids.
You can see his eyes as you look at him and are telling him this. His eyes are a little bit cloudy, and he's just kind of straining a little bit, looking your way. You do that? They're strangers.
I'd do that for good people.
I also, how armed are you?
He's not armed at all now.
I've got something
Well.
for you then. I don't use this very often. How would you like a crossbow with some bolts?
Well, I did do some hunting back in the day, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to shoot that damn thing anytime soon.
It's not hard, but it's better than having nothing, right?
Sure.
I'm in agreement with Byrdi. I think doing what you did for those people, I don't see why we shouldn't lend a hand at all.
Thank you. Alright, so you hand off a crossbow to him and just kind of lay it next to him. You can see that he is appreciative of just about everything y'all have told him. For the bowl of soup that's just sitting in his lap that he can't quite eat yet. He's still trying to work his hands to where they like close, but he looks happy to not happy that he's lost people. That is clear in his expression, but happy that he has some sort of plan. He looks like he has some hope.
I assume the rest of the evening goes as normal, like set up the tiny hut, everybody starts to bed down type thing.
Yes.
Yeah. I make the tiny hut the same color as the scenery. That way it's less conspicuous.
Kind of a straw yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And essentially only the people in this group and Clive are allowed inside. Everybody else is
Blocked out.
not locked out.
And I would, and I'm saying this because I have a feeling something's going to happen, but after my 4 hours of meditation, I would wake up and take the necklace and put it on with my father's notes.
Okay.
Right.
No.
Then I guess you get all the watches.
Yeah, well, before Byrdi goes down for sleep, and before Leofin finishes his 4 hours, she's gonna go. Where is Syphos sitting?
He was outside the tiny hut, sitting by himself.
You know, like sitting on the back of the wagon watching, or like where are you at?
Kind of like maybe about 10 yards away.
Okay.
Just kind of just thinking to himself.
Right. So, so Byrdi's gonna go and just quietly sit down next to Syphos.
It's not often that I think and reflect on my actions and think back, did I do the right thing? But today was definitely one of those days.
It's not a bad reflection to have.
I used to always think revenge was just going to be, I find the brass dragonborn, they all be flamethrowers, and then I get to have my do justice. They killed my family, I killed them. But no, today I played worse than the flamethrowers. I got to be, truly honest, I got to be all of them. Because I couldn't stop and think for 2 seconds. Byrdi, I'm not a bad person, am I?
Oh, you most certainly are. But bad people do good things. Good people do bad things. It's not really a matter of, are we the bad guys? Are we the good guys? If we were gods or immortals, where that made a difference, where our entire being was one thing, if you were just wholly evil, or if Leofin was just wholly good, that'd be different. But you're mortal, Syphos, just like me, just like anybody else. And regardless of the fact that you have scales and I have skin, that means that you can have mistakes. And you can do good things for bad reasons. And you can do bad things for good reasons. But I think what's the most reassuring to me thing of this entire situation, probably, is that I had planned to come out here to tell you that this couldn't happen again. That as much as you need me alive to further your goals, to get your revenge, as much as you need the rest of us alive to further your revenge, that wasn't going to happen if your revenge kept playing out this way. If you weren't smarter about it, if you didn't think more about how you got to your goal, rather than just rashly throwing yourself and fireballs at it. I had a whole big speech planned, Syphos. I don't plan speeches, I'm not that smart. But I came out here to sit next to a dragon who is contemplating a terrible thing that he's done. And is regretting the hurt that he has placed on someone else, regardless of whether or not they will ever know. Because as far as I'm concerned, Miles will never know. And neither will Bree.
I'm gonna have to tell them.
And that'll be your choice. But I don't think you're evil, Syphos, as much as you would want to be, as much as that would make everything about this easier. And I can't blame you for anger, because I am very angry myself. But I know now, especially, that as angry as you are, and as much as you wish you were as evil that as your god would hope you would be, you're not. And she kind of reaches over and she puts one of her hands like over his hand where he's like clutching his knees. I'm still with you here, Syphos. If you need me.
Still very quiet. Syphos just takes his other hand and just kind of grips it over her hand that's grabbing his and just kind of just holds it and just stares at the ground.
I just sit like that for a while.
So, after time had passed, Byrdi, you do eventually feel the pool of sleep tugging at you and leaving Syphos to his thoughts. Go to bed. Not long after, Leafin wakes up or comes out of his meditation. You don't sleep, I understand. But
That makes two of us. It's okay.
you know,
As you wake, and you take in your surroundings inside the tiny hut, Byrdi has taken back her opulent pillow.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you didn't forget about that.
so
Yep. That's mine. The guy is currently sleeping up on the bundled up cover that I had put over my opulent
Nice.
pillow so he wouldn't bleed on it. It's
Very
mine.
ingenuous.
Dio is obviously cuddling with Clive, using him as his own pillow.
okay, nice.
It's a goat-shaped body pillow. It's
Yeah.
the best.
It's
Built,
also
got a built-in
great one.
warmer.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Available on our merch shop at www.
I
wish
wish
this
we
was-
had it.
yeah.
Yeah.
www.wewishthiswasreal.
We wish
Yeah.
this was real though.
God, I can't wait for a
Oh.
flashlight sponsorship.
That
Okay.
No. They have plushies for babies that you can warm up in the microwave that make make it feel like they're next to a warm body when you lay it down next to it. We need one of those. That's
Yeah.
Like
Clive
an
Yeah.
shaped.
Orc one or
we
something.
get a Clive one. We get a Clive shape for that, and one of those like chair pillow things. We get a Clive shaped one of those that you can lay up against, and it'd be
Yes.
perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
That was not-
we need to get on that.
You said they have plushies. I was like, where's this going?
Yeah, so they're just
Yeah.
like, hang on, what?
No.
Hold
From
on.
fleshlights to
finish.
plushies, we got all the things you need. Okay, so
No.
In the dungeon hole.
Yeah, if our name was still oh god.
yeah,
Alright.
that was a good choice to change away.
Yeah.
But
Don't listen.
Leofin, you win.
back to this, Leofin, you come back to consciousness to see these things, and taking note of everything. What do you do?
Well, I had planned to look further into my father's notes, so I will make sure I put the necklace with his notes on.
Mm-hmm.
I will sit there and I will meditate and try to become aware of the information stored within the pendant.
Okay. Do you have any particular question you're wanting to ask first?
Okay.
Sorry. I just wanted to interject just so maybe you might remember this. Byrdi's notes / diary
Yep.
of everything that had happened up until we went in is also a part of those notes.
Oh.
Because she took a bunch of notes about and drew maps in there, which had that
yeah.
information from.
The notes and the map.
Those were all in her diary, so her diary is
Yeah.
also now part of that crystal.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
no.
those portions of the
FYI.
diary.
Yeah.
Those portions of the diary are part of that because they're part.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
coming from you. You're essentially making an ethereal book. The astral book. You were. You mentally created your journal, wrote those things in a mentally created portion of the journal, and those became part of the.
Okay, so the physical journal.
The
itself.
physical journal you still have.
Okay.
But you
Yeah.
don't have the things you
I had-
put into it.
I had thought that for a while. I
Oh,
was like,
no.
oh no.
I wouldn't have read Byrdi's
Well, yeah, but you
diary
just
anyway,
specifically said, I concentrate on the contents of the.
though. Right,
So I was
right,
like,
right.
well, you can be more specific.
Apparently, Kanye's not the only one that likes lewd stuff in this party.
There wasn't anything lewd in there.
It's
But-
called fan fiction.
All right. So,
So,
Take it.
do you have a?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yes, we'll start with the basics, and I will simply ask, what are riffs?
Okay.
From the perspective of my father's notes.
As you're thinking about this particular question, you can feel the world fading away from you. All the sounds of the wind blowing through the grass. Actually, there's no wind blowing through the grass because
All right, tiny hut.
yeah, tiny huts.
Sounds
really nice.
of Clive
Yeah,
snoring.
the sounds of people snoring.
Dio being the mouth breather that he is.
Cool.
The
Can't sit on your high horse with your intelligence at.
the slight
Same as yours.
rockiness of the ground underneath you, the taste of the air that still tastes of winter but feels warm on your skin. All these things fade away from you until there's nothing but you and a very small snow owl. And immediately he responds, "Oh, rifts are nothing but portals between this realm and another."
Okay. Where do these rifts come from?
Specify.
Is there someone or something that started creating these rifts?
And you see his head tilt and keeps on tilting until it's like almost upside down and then straight back forward. The only records I have of people making rifts are that of the being in charge of the astral plane, Drover, who created a staff for easily traveling between different planes, and a orc priest who found such staff.
Is there any reason why Drova would want us to have access to creating rifts?
You can see the head tilt. Drover did not want anyone but him to have access to this power.
How did the orc priest get the staff?
The staff and many other objects, equipment, were created, and then after Drover died and was reincarnated, the items of such named god items were scattered across the material plane.
So you said the staff can create a rift, but we've been seeing rifts around in almost completely random places. Is there other ways to create a rift? Or maybe a natural phenomenon that causes them to appear?
The speculations that have been written in here are that the staff is unstable, that control is not complete. Perhaps some portion is missing.
Is there any relationship between the rifts or the staff and the rift madness that some people experience, or the madness that happened to the orcs?
I cannot say for certain. The only information I have is on the characteristics of different planes. The void is filled with emotion and is chaotic. The ethereal is connecting to everything. The material is also chaotic. The astral is almost purely thought and incredibly stable.
Do you know where the last piece of or a missing piece of the staff might be?
No.
Alright, that would have been too easy.
How long has it been since he's been in the necklace?
Since he's been in the necklace, it is morning, and everybody has went through their morning routines and have noticed Leofin just sitting here meditating the necklace around his neck.
You want to pull it off him, don't you?
No, trust me.
No.
No.
I'm talking to Vola.
Oh no.
Last time we pulled it off Syphos, he almost died.
And you thought it was funny.
Yes, but I don't want to have to waste this diamond here.
Also, no scales to pull off of him, so... Although we can take an ear.
No! If you take an ear when he turns into Wolfin, what am I gonna rub? He's got the cute fuzzy ears!
I'm kidding. Why would we take an ear?
Totally not meta-aware of all this happening. I'm also kind of need to think of better questions. I will start to try and remove myself from this realm and return back to
After like
myself.
the third no that you get, you're like,
Yeah.
frustrated.
It would have been too easy.
Not before we like all surround him and start like clapping our booty cheeks around it.
Oh my god.
Dance party! No, it's like he probably wakes up to one of us just like within centimeters of his face, like almost nose to nose, just like
Actually,
staring into his face.
Before he wakes up, can I use the disguise kit to put a beard on him?
He has a
I have a
Goatee.
Yeah, my character has a goatee.
He has a goatee. I mean, like
Full-
one of my
full-on beard?
dwarven beard.
Yeah.
oh
Alright.
god.
All right, disguise kit check or actually
Performance check.
check.
I would also use disguise self. Seeing him doing the beard and everything, I also want to do disguise self, looking like Petrick.
You're gonna make yourself look like Patrick.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fucked up shit you're about to do. But that's all right.
Like so Byrdi is like watching Dio do this
Oh.
makeup work.
12 plus 8, so 20.
20? Huh? It's a pretty good beard job. That's a weird thing to say. Yeah, you make a pretty good
That
beard.
the weird portion of porno that you guys
David, I'm gonna need you to get on your knees real quick. Just grab it.
So,
I'm cutting
Leofin.
everything you say from this episode.
F.
Leofin, you begin to, after receiving this no and for the final time, you begin to let your mind wander from the questions onto other topics, and slowly the void of black nothingness that you were in begins to fade away. You can feel the roughness of the ground underneath you again. You can taste and smell the cold air on the wind, and feel the itchiness on your face as you begin to scratch at your beard. You have a beard.
Wait, I have a...
How long have you been here?
Son,
Dad?
you've been here for several months.
Holy shit! Byrdi just looks up and sees Patrick. Ah!
Wait, we've been in the same spot for several months?
They didn't want to leave you. Your friends care too much to leave you.
Give me a deception check.
Alright.
Byrdi slow turns and looks at Dio and Kaine and Vola.
It's not going to be good. 12.
12? Okay. Hold on. I gotta look at your...
Even my dad's like, we're not putting up with your shit.
Okay,
son."
since you have a passive insight of 13, Go ahead and give me an actual insight roll to see if you're like a little questioning.
Definitely got it.
Got 12.
Ha! Tie!
If you meet, you succeed.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh,
So-
yeah, no mind.
You're looking at Patrick, and you're like, you're touching your beard, and you feel a little bit of the glue off to the side, and then you're like, wait, why are you
Byrdi's
here?
panicked.
Wait a minute. This isn't. Hold on. I start kind of peeling more away at the beard.
Oh shit! I thought I did a better job.
You're not Patrick. Who? I look around. I do not see Syphos.
You're right. I'm not Patrick. I'm Lloyd!
Okay.
A very big
A
Lloyd.
very tall Lloyd.
This is like human sized.
All right. Very funny, Syphos. And the beard was actually pretty decent.
Hi, thank you. I need to do better next time.
Yes, don't.
You found out where the glue was.
Syphos goes
Syphos.
back to himself. I need you to do better about the gluing. We almost had him.
I'm not gonna lie. I was
That would have been great.
Aye.
questioning myself for a moment.
We had him in the first half.
Remember what we said. 3 questions.
Right.
You usually get about 2 hours out of that.
Oh, I did find out. While I was in there.
I probably should have led with that. What did you find?
So I asked about the rifts and what started creating them, and the owl essentially told me that their theory is that there is he referred to it as a god item from Drova. When Drova died, his items were scattered. He just had scattered throughout the land, and an orc priest of some kind. I didn't ask the name. I don't even know if he knew the name. Was using the staff to create rifts, and the reason that the rifts seem to be appearing at random and all over the place is because there might be a part of the staff missing, or like the staff is unstable. I assumed it was like there's a part missing, but
Byrdi's
one.
over leading Stake up to the front of the cart. So it's like broken? Like there's a piece of it gone somewhere?
essentially there wasn't any. He didn't say there was any real correlation, or at least he didn't have any information that there was any correlation between the madness and the rifts, or the rift madness and all that. But there's an orc priest out there using a god item to create rifts, and it's also incidentally creating rifts all over the place.
I kind of look over at Bola. Do you still have the ring?
Yes. He pulls up a chain that is just still a block of ice, combining the ring and her holy symbol.
You didn't ask what kind of items were part of these god items, did you?
No. I probably should have asked that though. Next time we have a moment to do that.
When we're
that's a good-
traveling.
All right, yeah,
when we're
that's a good
traveling.
question. But he did make it sound like there was more than one item that was, I guess, Drova's, and it's been dispersed.
Anyone want breakfast?
Yes.
Yes, please.
All right.
How can you
As
people think of
Byrdi
food?
is tying pork chop to the back of the cart.
That'd be mighty good.
How can you people think of food at the time
I
like this?
I'm gonna.
Well,
Not you. You have an exception. You're fine.
thank you.
Does anyone have like some? Nah, it's not the day for it. All right, I'll make some breakfast.
Cool.
I'm assuming create food and water can make like bacon and eggs, right?
I don't think so.
Not bacon.
yeah,
Bacon's
pour-
too complicated.
Bacon's too complicated.
It's considered, if you're looking at like that, like I was saying, that bag of bounty, it would be considered poor foods.
Mm-hmm.
Foods that you could afford on the
Retro.
poor wealth scale.
Yeah.
So basically just eggs and bread.
Barely eggs.
You might be able to afford like grains.
Yeah. Like,
How late into the morning are we sitting right now?
It's probably about 10:30 coming out. It's coming close to noon.
Okay. So Byrdi's been up since daylight.
Yeah.
Can she have gone hunting while they were waiting for Leofin to wake up? Maybe get a rabbit or something.
Give me a survival check.
Okie dokie.
May I help her with that?
Sure. Well, yeah, sure.
How about have Dio help her with it?
It's just the
Dio is putting on a beard at this point.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
you were both
That's why I was saying,
too
well...
occupied.
Touche,
So if anybody's
yeah.
gonna help me, it would probably be Kaine or
Yeah.
Vola.
well, Vola was probably tending to Miles,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so it's probably just Kaine.
Yeah.
Ah.
We can say Kaine's helping.
Run up and punch the
Spot.
shit out of
Wee.
Yeah, no fucking rabbits.
thank
escaping
God.
her.
Both
That's
extremes?
natural 1 and a natural 17, so dirty 20.
Okay. You are just walking around trying to spot any kind of game out here, and you're able to see a few rabbits coming out of a warren, and with Kane's help, she runs around and is just like corralling them, keeping them away. There's no fucking rabbit that's faster than Kane.
No.
That's
fucking-
true.
As you take aim and get the perfect shot going straight through this like knee-high grass, it pops out into an area that you can see and it just nails it. And y'all got a nice rabbit. It's pretty scrawny.
It is winter.
It is winter,
Right.
but you have a rabbit.
All right.
You have a rabbit.
This isn't going to produce a lot of meat, but it should make for a fine breakfast, I suppose. I'll get on it with potatoes, boil them, mash them, stick
Stick
them
them
in
in
a
the
stew.
stew.
We're gonna get
Alright.
stew. We had soup last night.
No, this is you're getting soup again.
We had soup last night.
It's
We don't-
cold. Soup is fine.
I know.
We do not have enough meat. We do not have enough meat for us to just eat this raw. I have to make it with something else.
I very jokingly look over at our human friend who is being treated by Vola and hopefully not actually noticing me do this. Just kind of like, I'm kidding. We're not eating humans.
Right.
You're
but-
too gamey.
Yeah, that would.
It's a dragonborn
know, we
thing.
had-
It's a dragonborn thing.
It's
Just
a joke.
I'm gonna say we would have more potatoes if someone hadn't destroyed the bag I had bought
Right.
back in
yeah.
that one city.
I gave you gold. Go get in the blood.
Stalinwall.
Stalinwall?
Stonewall.
Grad?
Oh, it was Stonewall.
Stonewall.
Also, I just finished editing that episode, so.
Sorry. Alright. So I'm going to be making breakfast, if you don't mind. Ooh.
That's a good rabbit.
Yeah. This is breakfast, right?
It's a Welsh rabbit.
Okay, the last one was better. 18 plus 8, so 26.
Okay. Yeah, you make a damn good rabbit stew that is quite delicious. Like, y'all are gonna be remembering this stew the rest of the trip, and you're hoping there's still some left for later in the day. All right.
We got extra mouth.
I guess we're all getting on the cart and heading out. I don't know.
Wow.
Dio's going to be on Clive.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
After
Byrdi and Kaine will take turns driving.
Can I have the bag of holding bag? Please.
No.
You see, as Byrdi hands the reins over to Kaine and it's her turn to take a break. She goes to start untying, and it's a ridiculously complicated knot.
Okay.
Are you sure? It weighs 50 pounds right now.
It's only 15. It only weighs up to 15. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, this
I
morning.
thought you said it was 50.
No,
Yeah.
15.
Okay.
15.
So,
Sorry.
you sure? Weighs 15 pounds.
Oh, I can't eat that. It'll be fine.
Syphos.
Yes.
I noticed when I mentioned the god items in the staff, you asked about the ring that was getting, that icy ring. Are you thinking that, say, items is plural? Are you thinking that could be one of them?
My patron doesn't like it, and he guards something very scary. So I would not put it past that.
And where's your patron from? It's
The void.
Oh, he also mentioned, that the void was emotion, essentially.
Well,
that the void was comprised of emotion, and
Having been in there now multiple times,
Mm-hmm.
do I remember getting any sense of like, I don't know, emotional feedback or like?
From the place that you were in was terror, despair,
Yeah.
Hopelessness.
those
Standard.
worst of the emotion spectrum kind of dialed up 200%.
Yes, I can definitely tell you. It was very much emotional heavy.
I see. And you mentioned the, and correct me if I'm wrong in remembering this. You mentioned the ethereal plane was that which connects all,
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
and that I forget the name, the one with the everything that is knowledge.
Astral plane.
And that the astral plane was comprised of knowledge. It was the realm of knowledge, essentially.
So like everything anybody anywhere knows.
That
Apparently,
would
yeah.
make sense.
Which is where we went in the portal,
Yes.
the library.
Which makes perfect sense. Because it was a library. The best place for knowledge.
Well, we know someone out there's using another god item. I guess next time we have a
Magicy wedgicky stuff. And
Yes.
Byrdi kind of pulls out her pillow. It just kind of leans back on the side of the cart. She's like, I'm going to leave that kind of stuff to you guys.
I'm hoping once we...
As long as you can hit stuff, we'll take care of the magicy wedgicky stuff.
Cool. I'll keep you from being squishy.
I like that.
Well, hopefully maybe once we get to where Petrick is,
You
We
too,
can-
Dio.
Dio would like to play a jaunty tune for this road trip.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe once we find Petrick, he can fill us in on more details, because
13.
13?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a decent tune.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Phoning it in.
Just kind of, just like sitting on Clive and just ding 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 ding. Ding. All right. You and by doing anything else on this travel,
I'll keep watch,
keep watch. Okay.
since I'm not faffing about with the notes right now.
Do you mind if I play with the notes then?
Oh,
Mm.
that's what you meant. I thought you meant like musical notes. Well,
Oh, no.
I guess I'll make sure that group morale is low.
No. No, we loved your song, Dio. No, but...
Song changes to "Suicide is Painless."
Oh my goodness. No.
No. Okay.
Syphos would feel that right now. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not? And I'll give Syphos the notes back.
Okay.
I'm just more curious about these god items.
No, I agree. Are you planning on using them right now, or?
Yes, just a couple questions.
Okay.
Hopefully a couple questions.
All right. Well, I'll.
Limit yourself to 3.
If
Right.
you absolutely have to, do pull me up if anything happens.
But
Because
just
I would rather
just
not
try
die.
3 at first, though. I forgot that rule myself.
Definitely.
All right. I'll go ahead and keep watch, and let Syphos do his thing.
Okay.
Has Dio's song stopped?
That's
That's
up
on
to
you.
you, man.
That's not you.
Quickly, Dio's gonna get on the back of the car and beard up Syphos.
Syphos. Okay. After seeing him put on the notes and
Yes.
go into a meditative state.
It's nice to see this from the other perspective.
Hi. It's
It's pretty
fun.
funny, isn't it?
You got me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty good.
It'd be even better if any of y'all could be a family member of mine. Oh, wait. Be charged.
Yeah.
Hold up, Miles. See how that goes.
Oh God.
Oh
Wait. Take Kaine Blue.
Okay. No. Okay.
no. How much blue paint do you have in that disguise
Roll for
kit?
performance
Not that much.
and
It's not the best. 6 plus 8, so 14.
14.
Even if when I roll bad, That nice +8. Hold on,
Yeah.
let me touch my screen.
I wonder what a +8 feels like.
I mean, next
It's because
level.
of expertise.
Yeah,
No,
next.
I know. I'm just saying because I
Yeah.
don't have anything that's a +8.
Yeah, next level, I'm gonna probably put 2 points into charisma, which will give me a +11 on performance.
Yeah.
Fuck
Bards
off.
and rogues are the only two that have that expertise stuff.
That's good
Which
stuff,
I was
though.
sitting there just like, damn it.
They get to double their proficiency modifier on like 2 or 3 things. They get more things that they can double it on as they level up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So basically, mine's an animal handling and performance. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So you do. What you said, 14, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good beard, but you can see some of like the seams, the glue. You really do need to work on your gluing.
To be fair, you are
Admittedly,
using
yeah.
Auroch hair. So.
Yeah. To be fair, this is also scales,
Yeah, I was about to say.
and it's kind of a weird medium for you to be working with.
Like, this is not easy. Can the dragons even have beards?
Well, yeah, but they're usually like
Tentacle,
those weird tentacle things. I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't have weird tentacle things just lying around.
Stick one. You should have stuck one of those eyes on.
I was about to say.
They're really
Pop the
goopy.
eye off and just.
That would be that's really goopy. That'd be
Yeah.
really gross.
Oh, we
Okay.
didn't find the dried one in the fire. Dang it.
And it burned up. We let it burn up because it was pretty colors.
All right. So, what was your question that you're focused on?
I'm focusing on thinking about those god items. What are all the god items that are in these notes? That have been mentioned in these notes?
Okay. As you start focusing on this question, thinking about it, you can feel the rocking of the carrot of this wagon underneath you fade away. The smell of the cold air and the wind blowing around you fade off as the black void of the pendant becomes substantial around you. And the little snow owl immediately replies with, "There are many items in here for the god tier items. There is a staff, there is a crown, a ring, gauntlets, boots, greaves, a chest plate, a shield, and an axe."
So, staff, crown, ring, gauntlet, boots, greaves, chest plate, and
Shield, axe.
Axe. Okay, that was the last one.
Shield and an
I
axe.
love you, Jonathan.
The tyrant set!
I was about to say, I'm sitting there just like,
It's after it said ring and then it started going crown. And I was like, "You son of a
yeah, like,
bitch!"
as soon as you said gauntlet, boots, I was like,
Yeah, Greaves was like,
motherfucker.
it's from Divinity Original Sin 2, in case anyone's
Yeah,
wondering.
no, I got that.
Motherfucker. The ring that is mentioned, is it the ring of ice?
The ring did amplify Drover's powers. That is all I have on it.
Kind of look at this now. Forge of creation.
The forge of creation in the home of the gnomes, in the land of Arian.
Our first clue.
It's that question you get at the beginning of the game is like, learn more about the game, and you never get to it until like way fucking later. Accidentally, just like, bing, update.
It's like,
Is the forge that created all of these items and many other wondrous creations.
last question. On what continent is the land of Arinan?
The land of Arinan is a continent unto itself.
Okay.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Byrdi took. Okay. I'm going to stop focusing on the notes, go back to just the normal space, normal headspace.
Okay.
How much does it cost to buy a boat?
We could probably buy a couple.
We can buy our own fleet of boats.
Bruh, we can make the we
That's
can buy.
because we're gonna need it when
I was
we're
about to say
going.
we can buy the people that make the boats.
Roads,
can
where
buy
we're
the
going, we
people.
don't need roads.
I think Ben is suggesting we practice slavery. We can buy the people.
Listen, slavery is just kind of the thing here. It's
But if you pay them for their time, it's just
Pay them. We're not paying them. We're paying their masters.
Anyway, so I'm back to normal, or back to the land of the non-thinking.
Okay.
the land of the stupid.
So-
What's your intelligence at?
Probably about the same as yours, Ted.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah. So letting your focus wander, you can feel the shaking of the wagons come back. Also, can you roll for your perception check?
Oh
I
no!
forgot to tell you
I
about
didn't
this.
meet the passive.
Fuck. Well, that worries me.
I'm gonna use the green boy. Come on, big green.
Big green,
No.
you suck ass.
7. It's a 7, not a 1.
13.
You're fine, guys. It's okay.
As you let your consciousness wander, you feel the rocking of the wagon underneath you, the wind blowing across your scales, and the smell of meats off in the distance, spices and such.
Yeah.
Far off, but they are present, only faintly. You start to look around and you can see off in the distance the beginnings of a very large village.
How long was I out there?
What time is it right now?
It is coming up to about 4.
Dude, you've been gone for like 6-7 hours.
Yeah, I was kind of starting.
Well, y'all left around 12,
Yeah, I know.
so
Syphos wouldn't know
So
that
that's
shit.
yeah.
Hi, it's been 20 years.
Oh right, we forgot the gag with the. Dang it!
You realize I don't grow hair here.
Hi, but it looks funny.
I was actually wondering about that if you did, but answer that question.
I have to shave all the extra skinny bits and tentacles.
Ew.
It's gross. If you don't want to see me with
Give
it.
me back my.
It's not really shaving so much as it's like...
Give me back my beard.
Right.
I don't feel comfortable with it on your face anymore.
I don't feel comfortable with it being on my face either.
Oh wait, so what did you find out?
Oh, okay. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 god tier items. It is a staff, crown, ring, gauntlet, boots, greaves, chestplate, shield, and an axe.
And all
Okay.
of them do different things?
Apparently, they're supposed to amplify Drova's powers. I assume in different ways.
Wait. Who's Drova?
Drova's a god
Of what?
Well, he's a
of the
A
other
dead.
half of the elemental planes.
dead god essentially.
Was there... as far as I know, there have been 2 known Drovas. Wait. What's that for some of those? Sorry, don't want to say something.
Do we need to consult Vola?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, does Vola know what's going on with Dad? She would know, right?
Yeah. So, Drova was the twin god to Neo, and
See, that's
the enemy of everyone on the material plane, as far as I remember.
Right. Okay.
He started attacking and was trying to take over Neo's domain as well, and a war broke out. Drova was killed, and Neo's acolyte took up the mantle of Drova and became the new Drova. And that is where the ascension came in.
Oh, y'all with
Right.
the multiple gods thing.
So
That might
what?
as well be stories to me.
What?
Praise the one.
You said it amplified his powers. What? Well, do you know what kind of powers or elements or something that was related to Drova as opposed to Neo?
As far as I remember, Drovo was the god of water and air, and Neo was the god of fire and earth.
Right.
Which makes sense because he is I kind of look at Bullet. Our little ring over there. That is one of his pieces.
The ring is...
Yeah.
Wait, but then why are the fire genasi? No, they can't be related to the same thing, though.
I don't think so. I think that's
Because if the rifts are related to to Drova's staff.
Yes.
To his staff, yes. I don't think it's to Drova himself.
Okay.
Well, right. Drova's... Yeah, Drova's gone. There's someone else. There's that... Like I said, there's the orc priest using the staff.
Oh, God. My poor brain.
And I think the rifts we're encountering are... The ones we've probably encountered are not related... I would imagine aren't related to the will of the wielder of the staff. It's just a byproduct of the staff being unstable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there not a god of earth, wind, and fire?
All four? No, that's what...
Just earth, wind, and fire.
Earth, wind, fire? No.
I hear he has a special holiday on the 23rd night of September.
Yeah. Drovo was trying to become the god of all the elements, but didn't quite get there.
Also, does Byrdi recognize the town that we're coming up to?
Yes, you do recognize the town as Redwall.
Red Wharf?
Wharf, yes. Red Wharf.
Well, it's all good brain melting
Oh, wait,
fun stuff.
there's more.
There's more?
There's more.
Oh, God.
Okay, so, according to Badran, my patron, I have to take the ring to the Forge of Creation.
Okay.
Now, beforehand, we didn't know where the hell it was. They just said the land of the gnomes.
I feel that Vola needs to make a snarky comment about forges at this point.
Oh, the force that is unfindable and somewhere way the fuck off.
It is in the land of Arinan, thank you.
Arinan?
And where's Arinan?
You drew a map of all the continents whenever we were in the astral plane, correct?
Yeah, I did. And she reaches inside her pack and pulls out
Our journal.
her journal, and she's like flipping through.
I saw you do it. It's not funny, Byrdi, baby. You're making me look stupid.
I did. I drew it in here. It's... I had all
you
this
drew
whole
that.
pile of...
It was on the amulet.
So it's in the amulet now.
I would guess. I mean, she drew it in essentially the... What plane was it again?
Astral.
She drew it in the astral plane, so...
That explains
Maybe
the
it's still
blank
there?
pages. And she kind of like holds up, like, here's the day before we win.
So all we
Here's the day after.
Yeah.
There's like 3 blank pages in
So-
between.
So all we need to do is just, next time we have a chance, have someone use the amulet again and pull up the map and we'll find out roughly where it is.
Arinan, huh?
Arinan. I was going to see which continent. Did you label them by?
Wait, it's on another continent?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can buy a boat.
We can buy
Well,
other
we
boats.
we definitely could.
We could buy
Perhaps-
boats for our boat on top of our boats.
Perhaps we should... What town are we coming on? Let's see what town we're coming to first.
This
and
is
we'll-
Red Wharf, and
Oh.
we have other things we need to do in Red Wharf before we think about boats.
Yeah,
Not wrong.
we'll just add that to the list.
This list is getting really freaking long.
I don't. Shouldn't we take care of your parents first, Byrdi?
We are only about a third of the way there.
We still got quite a while.
All right.
We're
Actually,
not even in the desert yet.
This is... You said
Y'all
road
are-
trip. It's a long road trip.
Y'all are getting on the grasslands have faded off behind y'all. It is mostly just like cracked earth.
Yeah.
And Byrdi, you would know past this town, there are, depending on which route you take, there are 2 river crossings. And then traveling about a day into the Sea of Sands and then reaching your home.
Yep. So we still have quite a bit of travel before we get anywhere near Hopper Springs.
All right. Well,
And plus, I
But
feel
we-
I owe a bit of debt.
Right, we have business to take care of in this town.
I ignore that.
Yep, we do. And probably from here, we're going to need to decide which direction we want to head. Because we have 2 paths that we can follow.
Right, I guess let's get into town. Maybe try to find a place to stay, and we'll sort out what we need to take care of. It is getting kind of late, so we'll sort out what we need to the next day, and then if we have time, set out then. If not, we'll set out the following day.
Sounds like a plan. Syphos.
Yes.
She hands the reins back to, Kaine. Take us in, Kaine. And she goes over and she does the same really ridiculously complicated knot that she did attaching the bag of holding to her belt. She does that to Syphos' belt.
Oh, thank you.
Keep your hands on your purses, guys.
Right.
They're sacks. Thank you. Actually, do you want to tie off the other 2 as well? The other 2 sacks?
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Oh, and our friend is laying down, right?
Ah, yes. He's laying down in the wagon.
I
With,
guess we should probably let him know that we're about to be at...
Well, I assumed you could hear us talking. You can still hear us. Your ears still work, don't they?
Mostly, yeah.
That's what I figured.
are
Well, just making sure.
there a lot of Dragonborn in this city?
Yes, mostly Dragonborn.
Do they like music?
Not bagpipes.
As
Oh.
in the last few years, music hasn't been very prevalent in these areas.
Aye, but they haven't heard mine.
Best to keep it.
I mean, you could give it a try, but
We're gonna
I
have to
wouldn't
own the-
expect miracles.
Aye, I'm pretty good.
Well, maybe music would be a good change if it hasn't been popular in the last few years, but maybe we wait until we get to an inn first. And then we can see if you can work your magic
Since
on the
all of you
innkeeper.
are unemployed, I will be working tonight again.
Well, I mean...
I kid.
I used to have contacts here, but we'll see if there's any of those that still exist, especially since the slave trade has gone rampant.
They used to be very...
Right, as far as buying, slaves and everything goes, which is what we're going to need to do, does anyone have any experience with that? Syphos?
No slaves so
Really,
far.
slave trade. That's what you
Well,
think I'm
these
gonna
are
go for?
these are an area where a lot of Dragonborn live. I didn't know if you had any...
Oh, no, I've had experience. I usually veered away from it.
Oh, well.
Fargo has no slaves.
Right, and the Elven capital doesn't either.
My clan didn't necessarily believe in slaves because we all
Right.
wanted to earn our keep.
Right, but your clan didn't, but you might kind of know something at least about it.
You want the strong? Well,
Leofin, slave trade is just like any other trade. They treat sentient creatures as wares and goods.
yeah.
Just wanting to see. That's fair. That's pretty straightforward. I just wanted to know if anyone had any
If you're going for mining,
background in it.
if you're going for mining, you go for the big and strong because you want them to actually be able to break through. If you're going for more distance trade, you probably want to go for someone skinnier because they more than likely, one, they probably wouldn't eat most of the rations. Two, they would actually be easier to take. Yes.
To interrupt, you might want to disguise yourself, right?
Why?
Actually, that's a good question. How
Well,
notorious?
I know that
I was such a terrible child. My clan, we were so infamous. Lordy, I'm still surprised they don't have my statue
It's
up.
not as that is just.
Trust
what
me,
if?
I'll blend in
Okay.
much better than.
If you need us to call you another name, just let us know ahead of time.
Just don't say Magnus.
Understood.
Ooh.
Not a bad name, just a dead name.
Understood.
Fair
All right.
enough.
Well,
No one gets too drunk then.
I guess we're getting pretty close to the city now.
Yeah, you notice people off to the sides, some driving carts off towards the west, others following the river, and some that look like they're like one or two heading your direction, maybe going out to the Great Hills.
Seems awful late to be heading out. But okay.
Yeah.
Byrdi
The-
comments as she sits in the cart behind Kaine.
Well,
As you get closer, the smell of spices and meats and other things,
it does smell great.
less savory,
Oh.
come up, barely masking the sense of unwashed bodies and
There's home.
the almost swampy, salamandery scent of unwashed dragonborn and other creatures, waste and of all sorts, barely being just kind of masked by the sense of meats and spices.
I hope we get someone with a bath.
Hi, Syphos.
We all could kind of use one. No offense to anyone, but
Good luck with that.
I would.
Hi, Syphos. Are there any good spices here? Or did the Dragonborn have any good spices? I would very much like.
We have a lot of spices.
Right. Is that right?
Let's put it this way. If you're hot on the inside, you're less likely to be hot when traveling in the desert.
Mm.
We like
Fair
our
point.
food spicy.
Ooh, excellent. We have to get some.
I don't know if you'll be able to handle it.
Hi, you know. Listen, who won the pie eating contest?
That wasn't
I
spices.
am going to laugh if someone convinces him to eat a dragon flower pepper.
Ooh.
I can do that.
Just the sound of that makes me not want to
You
eat
don't
it.
have to convince me. I want to try it.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll have a chance.
You realize we eat that, the other races, the other species eat it so that we can be fire breathers.
Hi, would this kill me?
It might.
Ooh.
Last time I saw any non-dragonborn eat it, I'm pretty sure I saw his entrails on the floor.
You know what? Never mind. But
That sounds a bit much.
I think
it's brutal.
so. As far as I can tell, there's only 3 people in our group that can eat it. Then, Kaine, Syphos, and probably Clive.
I bet Byrdi could. I think she grew up with some of it.
I can eat powdered dragon breath flowers.
All right. There we
But
go. See, we just get the powder instead, and that should be
the
fine.
fresh ones are a different story.
Yeah. Those were the best.
Anyway, we should find an inn.
Agreed.
I get to play for a new audience. Exciting, isn't it?
Again,
I'm actually.
here's what I recommend if you're going to. And
No
as
ba-
we're searching for an inn.
No
Yeah.
no bagpipes. I
I
got
assume
it.
we're searching for an inn now.
No
Well, if we've hit the city limits,
No
then maybe where he
bagpipes.
stops us.
If you're going to do strings, keep it under. Keep it in the 2nd to 3rd octave, because our hearing is very sharp.
Oh, right. So not very loud. Sad, but all right.
All right.
Are Dragonborns impressed by anything on stages?
Sorry, come on. I'll say that in a second.
Okay. As y'all are talking about this, you are driving into the midst of this very large village, And there are a few people out and about, and you can hear a crier off in the distance calling out, "Come, come! We have wares of all kinds. If you need something for shields, we have that. If you need something for carrying, we have that as well. Come and see what we sell." And you can see a group of people off to the side on the just coming towards the outskirts of town, gathering up around a bunch of cages and very large containers. And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Boy.
Oh,
Spicy.
man.
Yep,
Yeah, we're going to need to check that out.
That's...
I guess we're going to take care of this business
Free.
sooner than
Yeah.
later.
I'd prefer sooner than later.
Hey, Ben here. Thanks for listening to the Ring of Contrarians podcast. We have new episodes out every 8th, 16th, and 24th of every month. You can find us anywhere you can find podcasts, and now on YouTube. You can find us at Ring of Contrarians, both on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks for listening.